The wind howled outside, and the rain pounded against the windows of the house, as if it wanted to wash away everything my hands had done. I sat on the white leather couch, wrapped in a gray blanket, but the cold wasn't in the air, it was in my chest. On the table in front of me, a glass of wine trembled with every gust of wind, while the television filled the silence with a breaking news report about a tragic incident at Crocodile River. And there it was, my husband's name, Halid, appearing in the search for survivors. I shivered, but no tears fell, no panic stirred, for I knew that a few hours remained before my new life began, complete with the insurance money I had meticulously planned for. I rose to turn off the light, but the sound of keys turning in the door froze me in place. It was a sound I knew well, one I thought I would never hear again. The door opened and cold air swept in, carrying the scent of rain, and there he was, Halid, soaked to the bone, his clothes torn, his face pale, his eyes a mix of pain and anger. Silence stretched between us. Then he spoke softly but sharply. "You thought the crocodiles finished me off, didn't you, Nora?" I stepped back, the glass shattered beneath my foot. I tried to swallow, but my words came out in fragments. "Halid, how? How did you get out?" Before I could continue, two men appeared behind him, police officers. "Mrs. Nora Abdel Haq, you are charged with attempted murder of your husband and insurance fraud," one said sternly. I fell to the ground, my hands trembling. I could not scream. The tears that had never fallen by the river now streamed down, not from regret, but from shock. I had imagined myself in another country with a new identity and wealth, yet here I was, trapped in front of the man I thought I had discarded forever. I whispered to him, voice trembling, "I loved you. I never meant to hurt you. I just wanted to live." He looked at me long and silently, a man who had lost everything but his dignity, and said softly, painfully, "True love, Nora, cannot be bought with an insurance policy." The next day, newspapers were filled with shocking headlines. Wife attempts to kill husband for money. Husband returns alive with police. But Howard's story didn't end there. He spent hours reflecting on the betrayal, looking at their wedding photos, seeing all the laughter as false, all the memories as knives. Yet amidst the pain, he discovered a new responsibility awaiting him, one that did not belong to the past, but to a small, innocent girl in need of protection. That night, Halid received a call from Omar al-Rais, an attorney, informing him that the late businessman Rashid al-Kalani had a legal case connected to his company, and that Halid's name appeared in critical documents related to the transfer of ownership months before Rashid's death. Halid had no idea what it meant, yet the attorney insisted it required someone trustworthy to protect Rashid's daughter, Aya, who had been left stranded and vulnerable by her stepmother after her father's funeral. Halid met Omar on a seaside cafe. The next day, Omar explains how Aya had been abandoned, trembling in the rain, clutching a photo of her late father. "I'm looking for someone who knows betrayal and understands responsibility," Omar said, "someone who can protect a child like she deserves." Something stirred within Halid, a responsibility he thought was lost with the years of pain. That evening, he sent Omar a simple message. "I want to help with Aya's case, not for money, but for justice." The next day, Khalid entered Omar's office. Aya sat by the fireplace, wearing a blue coat too large for her, hugging a photograph of her father. She looked up timidly, her wide eyes filled with fear and innocence. Khalid knelt beside her and said gently, "I'm Khalid. I knew your father. He was a great man." She whispered, "Daddy always said the sea isn't scary, but sometimes people drown while standing on the shore." Her words struck him deep, and for the first time, he felt that life had given him a chance to protect, to repair what had been broken. After days of searching, Omar found the original will hidden in Rashid's old office, along with a handwritten note. If anything happens to me, I entrust my daughter Aya to Khalid Abdelhak. I trust his heart above all else. He will protect her as I would. Khalid's hands trembled as he read the note. He felt the weight of responsibility descend upon him, yet he accepted it silently. He would be Aya's legal guardian. In court, the will was read aloud. Khalid sat beside Aya, holding her small hand. The judge announced clearly, all of Rashid Al-Kilani's assets are transferred to his legitimate daughter Aya Al-Kilani under the guardianship of Mr. Khalid Abdelhak, in accordance with her father's explicit will. Tears covered the little girl's face. Khalid felt a lightness in his chest for the first time in years. Munira, Rashid's former wife, slumped in her seat, defeated, not by wealth lost, but by the truth revealed. Khalid walked out of the courthouse with Aya. The rain had stopped, as if the sky itself approved this new beginning. Aya turned to the sea and asked softly, "Do you think Daddy can hear me, Khalid?" He smiled, kneeling beside her. "Of course he can, Aya, and he is proud of you." From that day, Aya lived with Khalid. He cared for her as her father had wished, teaching her courage, reading her stories, guiding her through life. One rainy evening, Aya discovered a message inside one of her father's old books. "Aya, if you ever lose your way, remember that a home is not walls or doors. A home is a heart that loves you without condition." She looked up at Khalid through tears and said softly, "Daddy knew you would be my home." He put his hand on her shoulder, and I promised him I would be. Aya grew up under Khalid's care, learning bravery and kindness, while he discovered a new purpose in protecting her. He realized that love and responsibility cannot be bought. They are earned through care, courage, and sacrifice. And finally, the sky cleared, the rain stopped, as if the world decided to give the good ones a brief, well-deserved reprieve.